What's up, everyone? It's the Franz. I'm here for NXT's review for last night's episode for October 16th, 2019. And we all saw this coming. Every single person saw that NXT was going to start feeling like this sooner rather than later. This was another good show by NXT, another effort put forward, but I am so over this whole entire Wednesday Night War bullshit. NXT needs to go back to the network, go back to 1 hour, and go back to what it was before it became a part of USA Network. If you go back to the first two episodes that were in September, that were NXT were 1 hour on USA Network and 1 hour on the WWE Network. Those first two episodes on USA, you could watch the first hour of both of those shows and be like, that's a damn good episode of NXT. Minus, of course, the commercial breaks, but you could be like, that's a damn good episode of NXT. The second hour, you can say, was either good or great, depending on the week or two. Since we've been at 2 hours and going head-to-head with AEW, this has just been... It just doesn't feel like NXT anymore. We knew it was going to happen. We knew we were going to go down that route. We knew that with Vince McMahon's desire to win a war that nobody asked for, nobody wants this war. And people are like, people would be saying, like, I wish AEW would have been on Tuesdays, and so WWE would have just left AEW alone. I'm telling you this right now. AEW could have been on Tuesday, Wednesdays, or Thursdays, and NXT would be on the USA Network on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. It did not matter where AEW went, unless it was on Monday or Friday. NXT was going to be on that same night because Vince McMahon has to go out there and start a war that nobody asked for. By now, the ratings are in for both of these shows, and of course, AEW got slaughtered in NXT again, so this is 3 weeks in a row. One of the big things about NXT is that they're still at Full Sail, and Full Sail it looks minor league. It literally looks like you have all this star power, all this production for an A+ show, and you're running it's like you're running a independent promotion, and a very rinky-dink independent promotion. I've seen independent promotions get bigger arenas than what NXT is in right now. So it's not working anymore. And and Triple H, if you talk to him behind closed doors, no microphones, no way to like record what he's going to say. And you asked him, are you happy with what you're doing with what's going on with NXT right now? Would you rather go back to the WWE Network and do NXT the way you were doing it beforehand? He would probably want to go back to the way NXT was being done before, because this 2 hour format of just match with barely any storyline built in. Outside of the Velveteen Dream and Roderick Strong and Tommaso Ciampa, there's almost no storyline build. The women's championship run, women's champion showed up tonight after Tegan Nox's debut, making a pointless attack, coming out to taunt and go after Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox verbally for what seemed like no reason other than just to do it. NXT is the NXT we knew of died in September when they left the WWE Network and went to USA. This show, it's not bad, it's not the same, and I really, really miss the old NXT already. I really wish we could have NXT back. If you took, because Tommaso Ciampa wrestled Angel Garza tonight, if you took Tommaso Ciampa versus Angel Garza, Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan versus Imperium, and Damian Priest versus Pete Dunne, and put it in the 1 hour format as you had beforehand, you would have yourself one hell of a fucking episode of NXT. But we didn't get that. We got a 2 hour show, and we have to fill in 2 hours of content by giving us wrestling, and barely any storyline building. Yes, Ciampa and Garza had a match. Ciampa, the only really big part about this is the fact that Tommaso Ciampa is wrestling in the ring for the first time in 7 months. The dude was supposed to be out till March of next year. Stone Cold Steve Austin had neck surgery in 2000 and did not come back until like 9-10 months later. Lita had neck surgery. She did not come back for a year. Edge had pretty much, I think, the same thing that Tommaso Ciampa had, where he didn't actually break his neck. It was just like he didn't break his neck in a match. It's just years of the toll on his body, on his neck, resulted in his neck becoming very, very bad. And he missed all the way up until he went to have surgery in 2002. Edge did not come back until 2004. In May of 2004, I believe. The dude missed 2 WrestleManias. Maybe he was out in 2003. Yeah, I think it was 2003. But yeah, 2003, from like February 2003 to May 2004, the guy missed WrestleMania 18, 19, and 20. And that shit probably eats at him every time because he missed so much of that. But that was ridiculous and he was out for that long. Tommaso Ciampa, back 7 months wrestling a match. Was it a high-profile, long match that you would see before? No. Will we see Tommaso Ciampa in those type of matches again? I don't think so, simply because when you have a surgery like that, first off, your ring style has to change somewhat. You can't do half of what he did before. And second is that it's gonna be really weird. It's gonna be really hard for us to see Tommaso Ciampa because it's just like Daniel Bryan in his head injuries. Anything that happens to Tommaso Ciampa's neck, if he lands on his neck wrong or something, you're going to sit there and wince worse than you would before because he just came back from neck surgery, just like with Daniel Bryan. If he lands on his head, we all wince because if one more concussion, he's done forever. But this match was Tommaso Ciampa and Angel Garza. It's how we started this show off. The bell rang and the fans started chanting, Ciampa's going to kill you. Garza charges, but Ciampa moves out of the way and drops him with a big shoulder tackle. Run the rope and trade counters. We get to a point where where Angel Garza tears his tights off, as he always does. Well, he does this and gets knocked, and I believe he throws it. Let me see here. Nails it. He took his tights off. I think he threw him at Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa sends him to the outside. And then Tommaso Ciampa grabs the tights, puts him in the corner, starts stomping a mud hole into the tights, picks him back up, puts him into the ring, the bottom rope, bounces off the ropes, and hits a running knee to the tights. Just being absolutely crazy. Ciampa uses the flat, he grabs the tights, he throws him into Garza, who is now up on his apron, and hits him with the draping DDT, which is now called Willow's Bell, which of course Willow is his daughter's name. So that's just a total babyface thing to go and call you one of your finishers after your daughter. So Tommaso Ciampa wins. He stands tall. His music hits. We go to replays. Fans chant, "Welcome back." He goes to make his exit, but out comes the Undisputed Era NXT champion Adam Cole, North American champion Roderick Strong, and the tag team champions Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. They march to ringside, they circle around, noticeably, and I saw other people talk, noticeably, Roderick Strong is wearing Velveteen Dream's glasses. He's wearing, if anybody doesn't seem to notice that, he's wearing a pair of Velveteen Dream's glasses. I don't know why. Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly are talking off camera, and O'Reilly's got something in his hand. He walks over to the announce desk, or the commentator's desk, is fumbling around with him. He says, "You should look at this, Mauro," and tosses it to Mauro Ranallo. They get into the production truck to see if we're able to show it to fans tonight, because, they got to screen it. If it was something inappropriate, they wouldn't be allowed to show it. We see Johnny Gargano backstage being asked, after they do a nice big video package of Johnny Gargano reminding us because he is NXT for life, asks him pretty much about the return of Tommaso Ciampa, and he pretty much says that I don't even know, I don't have an answer. I will have an answer when I see him face to face. Let's just forget NXT TakeOver New York, where he came out and gave me a hug. He came out with a neck brace on his neck, gave me and my wife a hug, and all that. Mauro Ranallo says the USB stick from the US Undisputed Era has been cleared for viewing. They played a video that shows the Undisputed Era backstage, someone with Adam Cole talking trash, saying this is gonna, like, I told everyone that you don't come into our house and disrespect us. This is what happens when you disrespect us. Kyle O'Reilly has some poor cameraman, I guess, hostage, as they show the Velveteen Dream laid out on top of some boxes and a pallet. Roderick Strong says, this is what happens. You don't get to embarrass me like that. This is what you get for getting in his way. Cole says the same thing will happen to Finn Balor if he becomes a problem, as well as Tommaso Ciampa, and they walk off. So that was a way to, honestly, I think delaying Roderick Strong versus the Velveteen Dream for War Games as we get closer to that, because yeah, War Games is happening next month, and there has not been one mention of War Games on this show yet. Again, yes, I know War Games is not till the end of next month. I think it's like the 23rd or 24th this year. The 23rd, I think it is. And that's a long way to go. We still have another month, and in 7 days, a month and a week, almost, for War Games to happen. But still, we should have some kind of inclination of what's going on with War Games. And Kushida being out with a broken arm, like a broken arm wrist, him being in War Games is pretty much out the door. So there goes my prediction on that. I still think Imperium's going to be in there. Just Kushida looks like he's not going to be one of those participants. The Britt and Bruisers versus Imperium. Danny Burch and Lorcan versus Marcel Barthel and Fabian Eichner. Walter was not there last night, so don't know if he was even in the arena. If probably not, probably back in Germany, roughing up some of his students. Brutal match. These four guys pretty much said, well, we are some of the stiffest guys in this company outside of Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. So let's go in there and batter the living hell out of each other until we have a winner. Match ended up with a European uppercut into a powerbomb combination. Barthel covers Lorcan in 1, 2, 3. That was that. Imperium are your winners. Brutal match. I don't know what else to tell you about it, but like Lorcan and Burch, just two of the most stiffest guys you'll have, and Barthel and Eichner kept up with them. God, I don't know how these guys did not wake up this morning hurting after this match. Lorcan and Burch stumble to the ramp as Imperium recovers in the ring. Imperium music goes on as we plays and stand tall. Smaller sends to a video of Gargano and NXT for life again, says he'll do whatever it takes to be the next champion. Then we see Dominik Dijakovic warming up backstage. We see a video teaser of Io Shirai. She will be in action tonight as she takes on Kaden Carter. You see a lot of these, and this was another squash match. It wasn't really a squash match, but it was a squash match. There were two women's matches on this show, and there was a women's match on AEW, and I would say the other women's match, which will be Tegan Nox's return, was actually my favorite match of this week. Big Asai moonsault after a German suplex for 1, 2, 3. Io Shirai stands tall. It's the match isn't a big deal. Lacey Lane, also known as Kaden Carter, is on the jobber side of the world right now. But after the match, Io Shirai stands tall. We go to replay. She takes the mic as fans cheer for her. They chant her name, even though she's supposed to be a heel, boys and girls. She says it's not Rhea, it's not Bianca, it's not Women's Champion Shayna. It's all about me. She wants Shayna Baszler. Out comes, as soon as she says, it's me who wants Shayna, out comes Rhea Ripley. She enters the ring and faces off Shirai. Fans chant Rhea's name. Shirai goes to take the mic up to her, up to speak again, but Rhea Ripley takes it away from her. Rhea says, last week Belair ran her mouth, and next week I'm going to put her back in her place. But if you ever spit my name out of your mouth again, I have no problem shutting you up. Fans chant fight. They face off. Shirai smiles back. First off, she just looked like she had that innocent look on her face for a second until she had that smile come across her face and she started shaking her head. Yeah, okay, I got you. Starts talking in Japanese. Have no fucking idea what the hell she was saying. She was not just talking, she was screaming in Japanese. Rhea tosses the mic and stares her down. Fans containing Rhea's name as Shirai makes her exit from the ring. Fans booze out, of course. Rhea's music hits and ends the segment. It's the NXT Women's Division has a problem. It's a good problem, but it's a problem. You brought Rhea Ripley into the NXT Women's Division before you went to USA Network, and it looked like you were establishing this woman to be the number one contender in the long run to Shayna Baszler's Tag Women's Championship. You have Bianca Belair winning a shot. You have Io Shirai winning a shot. And Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai later on in the show were taunted by Shayna Baszler, and it looks like we have them in the mix as well. It's a problem, but it's a good problem. It's better than having Raw or SmackDown where you don't know who's like outside of Charlotte Flair or Alexa Bliss or Lacey Evans, who, if any of those women, are going to get a shot at the championship, whereas Io Shirai, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Tegan Nox, and even Dakota Kai, those 5 women right there, if you want to count Mia Yim too, and Candice LeRae, that's 7 women right there who could easily vie for the women's championship at any time. So NXT, in my opinion, has the strongest women's division of all 4 shows that we watch on a weekly basis: Raw, SmackDown, AEW, NXT. It has the best women's division at this time. Kathy Kellis with General Manager William Regal in the arena, and they're up in the crow's nest. She's asked about the Velveteen Dream after he was attacked by the Undisputed Era earlier in the night. Regal says Dream won't be able to compete next week in his match against North American champion Roderick Strong, and it might be a long time before he does return, which hint probably means War Games, because that is still a long time to go. We still have, I don't know, we still have like 5 weeks to go before War Games. So I think, that's a good long time ago. But he still will return his title next Wednesday against the winner of Keith Lee versus Dominik Dijakovic. Fans chant and cheer and go crazy, and we go to commercial break, and we come back from break. Keith Lee and Dominik Dijakovic. We have seen this match within a month. This will be the 3rd time. Within a month and a half, we have seen this match 3 times. And unfortunately, we are going to have to see a combination of this match again next week. This feud has got to end. NXT is starting to dip a little bit into what WWE's Raw and SmackDown are doing. Baron Corbin versus Chad Gable. That feud is still not over because they're both on SmackDown. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see more Gable versus Corbin. Lacey Evans and Natalya went for fucking ever. Even last year, Samoa Joe and AJ Styles for the WWE Championship spanned 3-4 months. AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura went from SummerSlam all the way up until, WrestleMania, all the way up to Money in the Bank, which was in July last year. So, this is just one of those things that they need to end this feud, and unfortunately, this feud still will not end. I don't give a shit if these guys are going out there and giving big move after big move after big move. It's going to get old fast. I did not want to see this match before they even announced it was a number 1 contendership match. I did not want to see this match this soon already, even though we just seen this weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? 2 weeks ago we saw this match? I don't want to see this match again. Unfortunately, with Roderick Strong added, we will be seeing this match next week in a triple threat match. Now, if you've seen them, here's the thing. If you've seen Dominik Dijakovic versus Keith Lee, you've seen these guys before. You've seen what these guys can do. Big move after big move after big move after big move. Stall. Big move after big move after big move after big move. Poison runners, superplexes, power bombs, and the whole 9 yards. It's just getting too much at the same time. They go up top for something, a power bomb or something. Roderick Strong suddenly hits the ring for disqualification, hitting the competitors with the North American title. While they're in the corner, after the bell, Strong celebrates like he just accomplished something. William Regal comes out and says, "Good, nice try, Sunshine. You might be clever, but not too clever, because you will be defending your title next Wednesday in a triple threat match with both Dijakovic and Keith Lee." Why could we not end this fucking feud? Are you going to have that? Is it going to lead to Dijakovic and Keith Lee vying for the tag team titles? If not, end it already. We see Pete Dunne warming up backstage. Matt Riddle returns in action We see what happened during the commercial break with the Undisputed Era yelling at William Regal as he left the building. They're not happy with the triple threat match. Well, here's my thing. What do you expect was going to happen? Remember last year when Adam Cole was North American Champion? Ricochet and Pete Dunne were putting on a number one contenders match. The winner faced Adam Cole for the North American Championship. What happened? Oh, I don't know. Adam Cole came out, caused a double disqualification, and we got a triple threat match. What did you expect? Now, Keith Lee versus Dijakovic versus Roderick Strong is takeover worthy. There is no reason this should be on free television. This should be a takeover match. It's just NXT has lost a lot of its luster lately, and just throwing matches like this out there just at random, having Keith Lee versus Dijakovic twice in the span of a month is overkill. So I just don't want to see this match again, and the fact that we have to add Roderick Strong to this doesn't help anything. So NXT has gone from being the cool cat, what do you want to say? The cool division, or the cool thing on the block. They have gone and become just Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Light when it comes to things, because they're not doing the storytelling isn't where it used to be. This is I hate to say that this was the brand that gave us Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa for almost an entire year until that neck injury. This is the same brand that gave us the Who Attacked Aleister Black, which gave us a fucking semi Johnny Gargano heel turn, which he was desperately needed at the time. It's just the NXT is not what it used to be, and it shows so much. We have Matt Riddle versus Bronson Reed, which I have not seen anything special out of Bronson Reed. This was a squash match, as Matt Riddle wins when he drops Reed on his head and pins him for the win. With I can't remember what the hell. With he has him in the tombstone, and he just like slams him down. Yeah, I don't understand. Stone as music hits. We go to replay. He celebrates, fist bumps a couple people, and that was that. They show us video package on Belair, who is sending warnings to Rhea Ripley, and we see trainers talking to Kushida's hairline fracture in his left wrist last week following his loss to UK champion Walter. So, yes, Kushida is going to be out for a good while. Kushida, best of luck in your recovery. That sucks to see somebody who is as talented as Kushida, or anybody really, with a hairline fracture. He could be back by the time War Games, but I'm not going to hold my breath because that's just not something you need to do. The thing that everyone's been looking forward to, if you have not watched NXT UK, Tegan Nox making her in-ring return to NXT, even though I don't think she's ever actually had a match on NXT in the States. This was a showcase match for Tegan Nox. Tainara Conti did get some stuff in, but Nox with a choke slam because she is Lady Kane, I guess, which I think she needs to work on the choke slam. Running elbow into the corner, senton in the corner. Nox goes up top, hits the big crossbody, follows it up with the shiniest wizard for the 1, 2, 3. She is your winner. Great to see Tegan Nox back. Dakota Kai comes out after the match and gives her a nice hug as Kathy Kelly tries to get some words from her. But all of a sudden, Shayna Baszler, Maria Shafir, and Jessamine Duke come out. Baszler, for whatever reason, comes out and says, "You want to throw your name in that hat too?" Baszler asks if that's a good idea. Says she should ask Dakota Kai what it's like to be in the ring with her, because if anybody remembers, Dakota Kai was the woman that Shayna Baszler faced off in, I believe, her first match on NXT television. And Dakota Kai, that feud, that bullying feud from the first few months of Shayna Baszler's career in NXT, where she really just wrecked Dakota Kai from left to right. I'm surprised Dakota Kai didn't have to have elbow surgery or some kind of surgery on her arm after all the hell that Shayna Baszler put her through. Baszler says Nox isn't, Baszler says Nox is running out of limbs to rehab. Nox and Kai talks trash. Nox, you can hear Tegan Nox say, "Give me a title shot and I'll show you." Baszler's like, you're not even worthy of a title shot, and call me when she's done something. So, what was the fucking point of having Shayna Baszler come out here? Why have Shayna Baszler come out here and talk trash and intimidate somebody who's not even anywhere close to a title shot. Of course, if the champion comes out, you're going to be like, well, give me a title shot and I'll prove you wrong. Why the fuck would you use Shayna Baszler in this setting right here? This convolutes and this makes the entire women's division thing. Yes, I know it's a problem, but it's a good problem. But you don't need to throw Tegan Nox or Dakota Kai, who have both just come back from injuries, into the hat for a women's championship. They are nowhere near a championship opportunity, in my opinion. We get a package of Finn Balor with a pre-recorded message. Balor talks about how you have to go back to paths previously taken after your life comes to a crossroads. Did those steps take you to a good place, or did they darken your path? He says he has retraced his steps, and next week his future will be his past. So apparently Finn Balor will be in action on NXT next week. Will it be a big ratings draw? I don't think so. Boa versus Killian Dane. I don't know what they see in Boa. Boa is just there. Boa he's the first Chinese born, whatever they want to go with that. I don't think he has it, in my opinion. It just wasn't anything special. Killian Dane beats this poor guy up. Three Vader bombs, applies a wrist submission, a rat submission, and manhandles Boa until he taps. Until pretty much it was referee stoppage. Not tap out, per referee stoppage. And he just kept going and going and going at it until the referee was finally able to pull him off. So Killian Dane is your winner. Nothing special there. They announced this, send this to a video package of the new Cruiserweight champion, Lio Rush. Nigel says there are many challengers who are lining up for shots at Rush's title. Who has been lining up for Lio Rush's championship? Because I don't watch 205 Live. Do you watch 205 Live? Where is the contents of this? We have not seen a Cruiserweight match in NXT. And it's like they want you to watch 205 Live to keep up with this. Give me a match between like a Raul Mendoza and Brian Kendrick or something on NXT. I don't know who's going to be lined up for Rush's title, but you got to give me something more than just like, there's many challengers who are lining up for a shot when we haven't seen any. Pete Dunne is coming out to the ring, but Killian Dane is still out on the stage. He approaches Pete Dunne, he points his finger at Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne grabs the finger, snaps it, and that gets, of course, him to go away for a minute as he's like resetting his finger. Referees and security come out to stop Killian Dane from doing anything. This was Damian Priest, of course, versus Pete Dunne. Back from break, and we announced to confirm Belair versus Ripley for next week, along with Dijakovic versus Lee versus Strong. For the North American title. Fans chant Bruiserweight as Dunne waits. The lights go out and the spotlight hits him stage, and out comes Damian Priest, the Archer of Infamy. I don't get the whole nickname. Yes, I know he does like the Archer thing, but what does the Archer of Infamy even mean? Like, I don't get why you want to give him a nickname like the Archer of Infamy. Give me a reason why that even matters. Hell of a match here, not something that I could even justify to try and go blow for because these guys just beat the piss out of each other. Pete Dunne, of course, is one of the stiffest guys. Like the stiffest guys in this company that you have right now in NXT are Volta and all of Imperium, outside of I think Alexander Wolf. You have Martel Bartel and Peyton Eichner, Volta, Pete Dunne, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly. Those 6 guys right there, I would never want to be in the ring with when it comes to brutality or like taking chops, taking backbreakers, finger snaps, or whatever. A Fight Forever champ, Dunne goes up top for a moonsault, but Priest gets his knees up just in the nick of time. Usually, and I like the fucking timing of that because usually when you see a moonsault happen in WWE on the main roster, it's like the person does the moonsault and the knees are up before they even leave their feet. He didn't get his knees up until Pete Dunne was like 6 inches away from hitting him. Priest goes to finish Dunne, but Dunne grabs the fingers and slides out. He gets caught in between. The referee gets caught in between them. This was the female referee. They were in the corner. She slides in between them, and as she's sliding away, her back is turned. So Damien Priest with a low blow to Pete Dunne. Fans boo, and the referee the referee didn't see it. Priest follows up with the Reckoning, which is his version of the Crossroads-ish. For the 1, 2, 3, Damian Priest is your winner. He stays unbeaten. Which, if you think about it, Pete Dunne is one of the most protected guys in all of WWE as on a whole. He lost, of course, the tournament finals for the inaugural UK champion. He won it in Chicago later that year. He did not suffer a pinfall in his entire, and I don't think so. His entire time as being champion, he didn't suffer a pinfall until he lost the title to Walter. And I don't think he's been pinned since then. So this is Pete Dunne. Having Damien Priest beat Pete Dunne is huge for Priest's career. This pushes the guy pushes the guy up a lot higher because he beats somebody who's hard to beat and who's hardly been beaten in his time in NXT or NXT UK. Overall, a good show, but I'm just gonna be honest, seeing a live show from the same venue every single week is absolutely boring. The presentation I don't see how they stay in Full Sail past January 1st, 2020. I just don't. I just don't see them having a way to do it. I just can't. The show just doesn't feel the liveliness of NXT is not there anymore. The mystique of NXT has died. Everything that made NXT what it was is gone. This show just feels like another WWE product. It doesn't feel special. It doesn't feel cool. It doesn't feel like NXT should feel. And I don't know what else to say about that. NXT has lost a lot of its luster, and it's a damn shame. NXT used to be it's still the best product in WWE. Don't get me wrong. It's still, out of the big three, NXT, Raw, and SmackDown, it's still number one. And it's going to be number one for a very, very long time. But the ratings are in, and NXT dropped still, and so did AEW. 1.014 for AEW, 715 or 14 for NXT. This whole Wednesday Night War bullshit needs to go away. NXT needs to go back to its hour format on the WWE Network. Pre-taped, I don't care. I'm watching AEW Dark and NWA Power on YouTube, but those are pre-taped. There is nothing wrong with Impact Wrestling does its own is pre-taped. They're not trying to fight a war. AEW is going to always be in the lead. NXT is never going to pass up AEW. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And this is just, they're going to have a triple threat match against these three guys for the North American Championship. And Finn Balor is supposed to be making his in-ring return next week. He teased it. They didn't confirm it, but he teased it, so I'm going with it. That alone right there would warrant a lot of viewership if AEW didn't exist or people didn't care. NXT is just, it's not what it used to be, and it sucks. Someone who's been watching NXT especially since it's been on the network every single week, just to see it how it is now, a shell of its former self, is just absolutely heartbreaking. That is your NXT review for last night's episode. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video, find me on Twitter and Twitch at The France Club, and I will see you guys tomorrow for SmackDown, where we have a six-pack challenge for the number one contenders to Bayley's Women's Championship. I'm picking Carmella because the story makes sense when it comes to Bayley and Carmella. And we have Roman Reigns versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the Intercontinental title, so there's something to talk about there. But until then, my name is The France, and I'll see you guys later.